Hey everybody, welcome to Chat and Craft with Lorraine. I'm Lorraine Tierney and you can find me on log at chatandcraftwithlorraine.com. It is Thursday, October 31st. Happy Halloween, and I'm coming on at an odd time this morning because it's a busy day and I wanted to share a treat box holder with you and I wanted to get in my live and this was the best time to do it. So you probably will catch this on a replay rather than watching it live. Please say hi. Let me know you're watching. All right. And I will show you what we're making today. Let's get this centered there a little better. My phone is a little wonky. Let's see what I can do here. Okay. So this is the little treat holder that we are going to make. It is made with some deckled circles and Spotlight on Nature circles, a couple of circles, and there's a little box on the inside. It's just tied with a ribbon to get the treat out. You would untie it and loosen it, and there are three Ghirardelli squares in there, and they fit snug. Not too tight, but snug enough that you don't have to be worried about them falling out. And it is easiest if you put all three in together, I think, because of the way those little extra tabs on the bottom slide in. There you go. And then you would just tie this up. I'm going to tie two bows live today. That's crazy. Okay. And then just adjust your bows a little bit. And this one's a little long now. I probably would have to tie that again. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make that cute little treat holder. So we're going to start with a piece of cardstock that is 5 inches by 5 inches. And we're going to do some scoring on that. So it's square, so it doesn't matter which side you have at the top. I'm going to score it first at a 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch. Then at 1.5 inches. There we go, 1.5. Then at 3, and I think I wrote down the wrong number, 3.5. 3.5 inches. I just want to change that on my little note here. 3.5, and then 4.5. So 1/2, 1.5, 3.5, 4.5. And then turn it and score it at 2 inches and 3 inches. And that's all we need to do. Now you're going to need a pair of scissors. So you can see that I have the 2 and the 3 inch score. I have those vertically right now. And there's a small space at the top and the bottom. So we're going to cut on either side of that center piece through 2 score lines, just straight up through 2 score lines. And then we're going to cut off the first piece, that first space on the top and the bottom. Okay, we're going to leave that little space on the center piece. And now I'm going to turn it so we have that. Okay. And try to cut right in the score line. I haven't done a good job of that on this one. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it so that those two pieces I cut are at the top. And I'm going to go this way. I see there's a few eyeballs on here. If you'd like to say hello, that would be awesome. I love to not feel like I'm talking to myself. Okay. So now I have it cut on both sides, and we're going to do a little bit of burnishing. Burnishing is just rubbing on those fold lines with your bone folder so that you get a nice, hi Joanne, a nice straight, crisp fold. Okay, so there you go. Let me just do that one, and I did that one. So now we just have to glue our box together. And basically what we want to do is sandwich these two little pieces in between those bigger pieces. Okay, glue it so that you don't see the little piece inside or outside. And I tend to always get it, I don't know, have to think about it, and I don't necessarily do it the same way every time, but it works. So right now I have that in the inside, and let's do this one so that it will be in the inside. And I'm putting the glue on the smaller piece, because if I put it on the bigger piece, I might go higher than the top of that, and I don't want the inside of my little box to be sticky. Okay, and now I'm going to put glue here and put those around on each side. Okay, so let's do that. Joanne, you're the queen of treat boxes. Have you done any with circles before? I think this is one of the first I've done with circles. And my top is a little bit uneven. So, true story, that happens. I'm just going to cut it off, and it's going to be pretty well hidden anyway. Okay, so I'm going to have my seams go towards the back. Okay, that's my little box, and like I said, that will hold 3 Ghirardelli squares really nicely. Then I cut some circles with deckled circle dies and Spotlight on Nature dies, and I forgot to poke all my little pokey things out. Let me just get a few more of those. I could have used my little take your pick die brush when it was still in the die to just poke these out. That's really handy attachment. But I was trying to get this ready, and it took a little longer than I thought. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the measurements of these pieces roughly. So the die that I use, the Spotlight on Nature's die is about 3.5 inches in diameter, outside edge to outside edge. The deckled rectangle dies is about 3 3/4 in diameter. So those two fit inside each other. And then I did a little, about a 2-inch circle that I'm going to use for a sentiment. Okay. So now we're just going to glue these on to the circles. And this is some Winter Meadow paper that it first came out last year, and it stayed in the catalog or in the online exclusives. It's probably an online exclusive, and I just love it. I'm using Lost Lagoon and Pool Party for these bigger circles. There we go. Now, these are going to go on the front, but we're going to need to tuck a piece underneath. So I'm going to score these at a 1/2 inch. And this does have a directional paper. So I'm going to make sure my trees are going the right way sideways. Okay. And just score right through both pieces at 1/2 inch. Making sure you're scoring on the bottom and that they look pretty straight. You have to give it a fairly good push to go through those 2 pieces of paper. And then we're going to fold that towards the back. So it looks like I could use just a tad more glue around that edge. So let's do that. We'll give that a second to dry. There we go. We'll go ahead and stamp on our little piece of white. And I thought I put a stamp on a block. Here it is. I thought this one I would make, this one's made with love. It looks Christmassy. I would make this one more of a generic wintry one. So it could be for a birthday. It could be just a just because gift. It could be whatever. So I used the stamp Hope Your Day is a Happy One, and that's from the So Sincere stamp set. This is one of my favorite. It has great sentiments. I'm going to put that aside for a minute. And let's glue these onto our box. So I'm going to get the glue on both of them because I want to have some wiggle room to line them up. Okay, so I'm going to put my circles. I'm going to use the lines on my glass mat and try to get the circles lined up so they look like they're lined up with the same lines. Whoops, that didn't work. Okay. I'm going to take a little bit more for that to dry. You can also look here and here on the little edges to see that you've got that centered. Just a little bit peeking out on both sides. And you should have some white there because those colors are the same. So you can see just a little bit on either side. And then I'm going to do this one the same way with just a little bit. Okay, and once I think that's lined up pretty well, I'm going to pick that. Oh, that didn't stay. I would like that to stay like the other one is. Give it a little bit longer to dry, I guess. Okay. Do this one first. I'm just going to lift that up and put glue on my box. I'll put that down and I'll use my bone folder to make good contact there. And then I'll add glue to this one. You could use tear and tape if you're not a fan of the liquid glue. You can use whatever you want until you have it like that. Okay. And then we're going to pop this on right here. And I'm wondering, do you think that needs a circle behind it? I wasn't sure what I was going to think, but I think it might. Let's see. We could try this one. Let's just die cut this quickly. Might be better to have a little contrast under that white circle. So this is the next size of the same like little fleur-de-lis die cut. I think that's my favorite one. Oh, that's pretty. I like that, like that. So let's glue this on. Onto here. And I'm going to come right down to the bottom and I'm going to pop this up on some dimensionals. There we go. And we're almost done. It doesn't take long at all. Hi, Nancy. Thank you for watching today. I am glad that you like it. So I have my crocodile here, and I'm going to use the bigger punch. It's a 3/16 punch. And I'm going to try to get that right in the center and near the top. I need to go this way. That's it. Now I can see what I'm doing. Center and near the top. And then I'll turn it over and I'll go center and near the top again. So I have a hole in each side of that. And I'm going to use the iridescent striped ribbon to tie a bow. And I'm at the end of this roll, so I'm just going to cut this off. It's probably a little bit more than I need. So you would put your 3 Ghirardelli chocolates in. I didn't bring any more over here because I'll eat them if they're over here. I have them out of sight, out of mind. Bring your ribbon up, and you can tie this bow as loose or as tight. You can pull those together a little bit, or you could leave them apart. It's more for decoration than for really keeping the treat in. I like the bow a little bit smaller. Can I pull that out the other way? Yep. And nice and tight. And of course, you can just encourage that bow to turn the way you want it to. There you go. So this one's a little bit longer than the other one. And that would be your treat holder. And I could put some bling on it if I was thinking. So I have some sparkly stuff right here. I think these are from a kit, but they're a lot like the faceted gems. So let's put a couple of these around, whoops, around this treat holder. And we get all different kinds of colors. Very sparkly. I hope you can see those. So those are, I call them layered circle treat holders. This bow definitely needs to be retied or trimmed. Maybe I'll just trim that. And then this one. There you go. Still not even. This is like cutting your kids' bangs and you keep going shorter and shorter and shorter. Okay. There we go. So there are our 2 treat boxes. I hope you will make those. The dimensions will be coming out in a blog post on Saturday, but until then, you could always go back and watch the video again, and I give you all the measurements that are needed. Let's switch that back over so that you can make these at home. And I hope you will spoil teachers, people at your church, people in the office, neighbors, somebody with a little handmade treat holder and just a little gift. I think they will enjoy that. Thanks, Jackie. I hope you will watch it from the beginning. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your Thursday, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.